Hello, and welcome everybody to the Beyond Banks podcast. This is where we talk to leaders that are transforming small business funding across all of the nation with all different kinds of technology. I'm your host, Jordan Hansen, and today I would like to introduce David Catton, founder and managing director of Advanced Funds Network, who's built one of the industry's leading ISO operations for over 18 years. In this episode, you'll discover why David left a third-generation family apparel business during the 2008 financial crisis after a chance encounter with Steven Scheinbaum revealed a $20 million funding opportunity that disappeared in 24 hours. How his firm achieved a perfect 5.0 Trustpilot rating with over 1,500 reviews by training every rep from scratch to avoid industry bad habits, and why they're using AI for pre-screening while still insisting on person-to-person conversations to identify payers versus non-payers. We'll also learn their red flag system for clients to spot shady operators, why they welcome regulation instead of fearing it, and how their lender matrix technology matches deals to the right capital sources without wasting anyone's time. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm here with David Catton from Advanced Funds Network. Really glad to have him on and appreciate your time, David, for coming on. You've been in the industry, like we just talked about, 18 years now with this specific business. It's hard to find people in the industry that have been doing it that long. So I'm really excited to talk to you today. Can you give me some background on yourself?
First of all, Jordan, thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure being with you, pleasure talking with you. And yeah, 18 years. I can't believe that it's 18 years already that I'm in this industry. I come from a completely different industry beforehand. I used to be an importer of children's clothing, where we had a family business, where I was the third generation. As the market changed and that business sort of went away, I decided to transition and wanted to get out of the apparel business, very difficult business. At the time, I was searching around and I was doing some investment banking with a small firm and some capital raising for different businesses that needed capital. So this was about 2008, 2009. And I was approached by somebody that said, look, I'm looking for some capital for my business. We do this type of business lending. I said, oh, that's interesting. Turns out it was Steven Scheinbaum at the time. Merchant Cash and Capital, right? Mm-hmm. And I went, I met with him. I was intrigued by the business. And I said, wow, this is really something new and fresh. And I went to some of my banking friends. I asked them, they said, yes, we're very interested. He was looking for, at the time, $20 million. And I called him back the next day and he said, oh, don't need it anymore. I'm already set. And I'm like, I spoke to you yesterday and you needed the money. Yes. And now you don't need the money. No, I already got it. I said, well, it's something intriguing about this business. And then the next week, I was approached by a broker down in Florida who said, look, I'm doing brokering in this cash advance business, and I'm looking also for capital so I can start doing lending. I'm looking for, and I said to myself, you know what? This is something that really maybe I should look into. Like I said, at the time it was like 2008, 2009, which was in the middle of the financial crisis. Nothing was really popping in anywhere in business, and to get started on something new would have been difficult. I said, you know what, I'm going to look into this. I decided to open up a brokerage, small, third floor of a Walkup, had about 3 or 4 people plus myself in there. At the time, I hooked up with my partner, Douglas Haddad, and we decided to give it a go. I'm more of a back-end underwriting type of person, and he's more of the front-end sales and systems type of person. And we still look at each other and say, 18 years later, we can't believe that we're still doing this.
Yeah.
We have 2 other partners in our business, Irving Batesh and Joseph Sasson, and they contribute fantastic to our business. And I'm very proud of what we've built. 18 years to be in any one business is not easy, but I'm glad to say that we've grown the business to have an excellent reputation in the industry with lenders, with our clients, and we've really built it to be one of the leading brokers, one of the leading ISOs that are in the industry. So something that we're very proud of. When you do things the right way and you treat everybody with respect and treat everybody properly, it sounds a little bit of patting myself on the back, but sort of the cream rises to the top. And as a result, I think our business is going to be one of the leading ones in the industry.
That's great. I like that's inspirational stories. I love talking to people like you, especially in this industry, because sometimes they get such a bad rap. And then I just, every time I hear people say, oh, it's kind of a shady industry or whatever. I'm just like, you don't know the people. Yes, there are shady individuals, sure, but there's a lot of people like you that are building amazing businesses that are helping out, merchants get what they need that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So I just love to talk and hear these
Look,
kinds of things.
you're right. It's a difficult industry. When I first went into it, and even there were shady companies and shady characters then, I met with a mentor of mine and I asked their opinion. I'm very, very big into having mentors, asking their opinion, bouncing ideas off. Anybody thinks that they know it all, they're crazy. And he looked at me and he said, "You're telling me there's an industry which is very difficult with shady characters in it, then set it up, go for it, but be on the up and up.
Yeah.
Differentiate yourself."
Differentiator, exactly.
I'm still very close with them now, and we talk about that meeting that we had. And look, it's very hard for merchants, clients that are in the industry to really differentiate. There are a lot of shady characters out there, and the industry does have a bad reputation. I have this conversation very often with people. First of all, somebody that's doing something that's a little shady, I think, why are you doing that? Everybody wants to make money, but make it in a straightforward way, in an honorable way. But let's say when I talk to clients or merchants and I warn them, because it's important that we are straight up and we warn our clients as to what to look out for. There are a couple of red flags I always tell them to look out for. An example of some of them are, number one, do due diligence on the company, on the broker, and on the lender that you're working with, that you're talking to. Go to their website, check them out. Red flag number one, is there an address on their website? If there's no address on their website, be careful. They don't want you to know where they are, then that is not somebody that you should be with. The name of the person that they're working with, be careful. Is it their real name? And sometimes you can tell when it's not. If it's somebody with two first names, run for the hills. It's the truth.
Yeah.
When we don't allow people with fake names to work in our organization. If you want to have a fake name in our organization, go find someplace else. You have to, and so our clients need to be able to search out the company and the representative that they're working with. Also, check into them. Look on Trustpilot. Look on Google reviews. I'm very proud that we have Better Business Bureau. We're an A+ for many years. We're a 5.0 on Trustpilot with, I think it's 1,500, 1,600 reviews as 5.0. We're very proud of that. We encourage our clients to please help us make the industry legitimate more and get rid of these shady characters and give us good reviews. These are things that are very important because otherwise you can get taken. And it's important that those that are straightforward in the industry really self-police the industry. There's been talk of regulation and all things like that for many, many years. But at the end of the day, we need to self-regulate.
Yeah. So tell me more about your brokerage services. This is something you're proud of, I think, and I want to know more about it.
So, look, being in the industry for 18 years, we have very strong relationships with pretty much all of the good, legitimate lenders that we want to work with, mostly in the United States, but also internationally. We spend a lot of time and a lot of effort on our marketing and our lead generation. We have approximately 60 or 70 different reps stationed throughout the country and even internationally that are self-trained by us. We want to train all of our representatives ourselves. We will not hire any other representative that has already been in the merchant cash industry. We don't want to have anybody in our organization that may have had bad habits from before. We will look for people with the proper personality traits, good salesmanship, and good sales skills. But we have our own hiring department, training staff for about 6 or 7 people that do that. And if we don't think they're going to be successful, we tell them, look, early on, you're wasting your time. But we provide them with the support. We provide them with all of the tools that they need in order to be successful. We spend a lot of time and effort on lead generation, legitimate lead generation. And we've been successful in that we put it all together. We have extremely good processing and systems that we're able to turn things quickly. We all know that speed is the number one aspect of this industry that makes you successful. Our systems are top-notch. They're known in the industry to be top-notch. And we're able to turn things quickly, good relationships with all the lenders. And that's why we're 5.0.
Yeah. And some of our previous conversation, one of our previous conversations, you mentioned you're using really advanced technology for your pre-screening. You want to talk more to that?
Sure. We don't want to waste anybody's time. Not our time, not the lender's time, not our reps' times. So we do a pre-screening of all leads and all deals that come in. We don't want to waste our time with something that really is not going to be approved. We use AI to do that. We use other algorithms that are in our system in order to do that. And it's appreciated by everybody. Our reps, we are very conscious of their conversion rates, both to get the submission in and for funding conversion rates. And we've been years back down that road with different lenders who always hated to have those conversations of, look, your metrics are no good. It's not worth it for us. You send us so many submissions. We really know which submission and which deal is right for which lender. We're very conscious of our conversion rates. I don't think we've had a conversation like that in maybe 8 or 9 years. And the conversations that we're having with the lenders are send us more.
Right.
So look, we send the deals that are good for you and we don't waste that time with the ones that are.
So do you have it preset? I mean, because every lender is so different. You must have preset criteria to be like, okay, this lender we know is going to be perfect for this kind of deal, and this one is good for these kind. Is that kind of how it works?
Absolutely. I mean, we have a lender matrix in our system. The logic of our system will give recommendations based on what they've found in the submission, which lenders are the best ones that would be most suitable for that deal. In addition to that, we're using AI in order to also fine-tune the quality of the deal and also which lender criteria. We'll have the lender criteria. We use AI in order to determine which one's the best. There's so much out there that we need to be efficient. Efficiency is very important to everybody. If you could use technology in order to become more efficient, then it just means there's more money to be made for everybody.
Yeah. With this technology, how do you feel like it helps you with compliance, and kind of what's your approach to compliance? How do you feel like with regulation? What are your feelings on the current regulation, especially the one in Texas that just came out, and then the ones going forward? Do you feel like it impacts you very often as a brokerage?
Obviously, we're very up to date with the different regulations and the different criteria of each state. We are licensed brokers of California. We adhere to we're registered with Texas, Virginia, Maryland, Utah. Mm-hmm. All ones, we understand all of the criteria and everything that's required as far as the disclosures. In fact, in the last broker fair, one of my partners, Irving, in the broker battle, he was asked about the disclosures and gave a fantastic answer as far as why it's necessary, how we do it, how we pitch it, how we explain it to our clients. A lot of people say, oh, they're afraid of regulation. We're not. We are not afraid of regulation. If regulation is going to weed out bad apples from the industry, we welcome it. And I've met with many of the lenders who are involved in the different associations. And frankly, they're urging us to get involved also in those associations on a broker level in order to put in place the proper self-regulation, dealing with government. We're fine. I think it's better for the industry. It's better for the client. I'm not saying that, yes, let's go regulate.
Yeah. I'm
just saying that we're not afraid of it. When you deal with your business in the proper way, you shouldn't be. If you are, you should be worried.
Yeah.
You should be looking at yourself and saying, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
You mentioned a little bit about technology, but you said you're using AI, which is awesome. Where do you think in the next 5-10 years the industry is going, especially with regards to technology and AI?
I'm an old guy. A lot of the people in this industry are in their 20s and 30s. I'm in my mid-50s. Okay, so I've been around the block a little bit more. I've seen how technology has affected this industry and other industries. I make it my business to stay on top of technology because I think if you fall behind the curve on technology, you cannot catch up. Technology moves so quickly that if you decide, I'm going to stay where I am for the next 3 years, you won't know what's going on and you will be at a tremendous disadvantage in the industry. So as AI develops, and it's developing so quickly, every day something. I was just looking at another AI platform which can help us in our pre-underwriting, and we look into it. If you don't, you're going to be a dinosaur very quickly. I think AI and technology needs, as it develops, you're going to see more in terms of what I was saying as far as pre-underwriting on deals, full underwriting on deals. Look, I'm a very strong believer of person to person and that personal touch as well. I know that there are other platforms out there that go entirely on technology. I personally think that it's a mistake. When we do underwriting, I like for the technology to bring to me all of that, what they found in order to analyze it. But at the end of the day, there's nothing like a person-to-person conversation because there's still that touch of you need to get on the phone with somebody to size them up, to understand if they're legitimate or not, to understand if there are payers and there are non-payers.
Mhm.
And the technology can bring you all of that information, but there's nothing like a conversation, talking with your client and understanding if they're going to be a payer or a non-payer. I rely a lot on the personal and human touch with them. So as far as answering your question, technology is going to get sharper. We're all going to take advantage of it, like I said, in the pre-underwriting stage and the underwriting stage, but there's still that human touch that's needed. Look, there's another area for technology also, which is in the lead generation. Like I said, we spend a lot of time and effort on lead generation, and you always need to fine tune your searches based on the data that you've collected. We're using AI in analysis of that data. And as far as where we spend our marketing, which is more successful than the other, we use AI to analyze that. So this way we could spend our efforts on the technology, which really bears the most fruit.
Well, David, I really appreciate your time and having to take the time to come on and speak to me. I'm really impressed with what you've done. But anyway, I just wanted to thank you for your time. Thank you so much for coming on.
Jordan, it's really a pleasure. And we've spoken a few times, and I think we've developed a relationship. I think the service that you're providing and what you're doing for the industry is also vital. And it's greatly appreciated, I know, by me, and I'm sure many of the other people that you've interviewed. And I wish you good luck. And let's all pray for the health of this industry as well.
That's right. That's exactly what we want. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jordan.